So you guys don't hear much of anything. Like what's playing right now over like the sound is basically what you hear. You just hear the drip of like the sewers, dripping into this area, and like the echo sort of the tunnel around you. There's also some sort of like fan, which is probably a ventilation system whirling somewhere in the distance. It's a bit brighter in here because some of the glow lamps, which are along the side and the roof of the maglev system, are still operational, though a lot of them are flickering on and off from damage above.
Okay. Which way to the forest? Do I remember that, or?
Well, you have no idea, but I mean, it's pretty clear which ways to go, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
By the way, Vox just turns to you again, Piker, and says, "We go to the nicest places."
Don't we? He's just like too tired to come up with like any witty remarks or anything.
Yeah.
Looking out for blood anywhere.
Doesn't seem to be any blood, no. Yeah, so this place is in like a state of ruin. It's still pretty dark, but there is a bit more light, like I said. But like the majority of it seems to have collapsed. Like several parts of the roof above you have like clearly like caved in from impacts from artillery or explosions above. Oh yeah, this is a giant hole here. Looks like it completely collapsed down into whatever abysmal blackness is below it.
That is dark.
Yeah.
Dark in there.
Yeah, no amount of command checks could convince Fett to jump into that hole.
What if it was a 1?
I contemplate doing that bullshit thing that people always do when anyone's anywhere near a cliff edge or anything, which is I'll pretend to push you in and then pull you back bullshit, but then think, no, I won't do that, because that's a dick move.
Wow.
Yeah, you're a psycho, not a dick.
Ow.
Someone's clearly done that to you, and it really has disturbed you.
Yeah, there's a huge collapse just north of where you guys are now. Like entire like support beams in the concrete above have collapsed onto the train, the maglev rail below you. It looks like you've come off into what might be a dead end.
I'm gonna search this rubble and see if there's any other paths.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Search the area.
It feels like it might be a station if there's an end to the track here.
Yep, there's an end to a track.
That is true.
It could at one point have been some sort of maintenance area, or you have no idea, but you're not sure. Searching through the rubble doesn't reveal much to you. It's just like broken debris, copper wiring, all things you would expect, but nothing really jumps out of your way, and there's definitely no passage through it.
Well, looks like they're not home. We should probably go.
In a minute, Fett.
Who's been looking through my rubble? This rubble's too cold.
This rubble's too hot.
This rubble's just right.
Yeah, there's no passage ahead of you unless you climb over like the rubble, but it continues on to like the platform beyond. You can climb over the rubble, but it will take a climb check or athletics, whatever they call them.
What about a little bit more clearing? Too much.
You'd have to blow it up to get through here without climbing over it. I mean, they're about twice the size of Fett, if you know what I mean. So you guys would have to climb over the rocks to get by.
And I don't want to waste more explosives.
No. Not unless we have a good idea that this goes somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
Check. Let's check this place for tracks and blood. Fat, please.
Easy, who hasn't said anything in a while or hasn't spoken in like a day or so since you guys got to the Administratum building, just sort of pipes up and says, I think this might be where the traders ran to when we took the building.
That would make sense.
It would be the nearest escape route for them. Yes. Do you think they're still around, Easy?
Easy just shrugs and says, I don't know, but that tunnel we came through looks like it was collapsed deliberately. If they were here, they may have ran a long time ago, sir. And he just sort of looks ahead and says, I have no idea where this leads.
Well, I'm gonna search the area for any sort of tracks or signs of blood or a struggle or anything.
Just to make sure, Fat. Otherwise, we go back and into the sewer proper.
Well, there are a load of other ways you haven't gone yet, so...
Yeah.
Like, back here, there was an entire route north you guys didn't take, so...
There's no blood or anything in the area?
Nope. So you guys jump down back onto the tracks and then, like, hoist yourselves back up on the other side again.
Yep.
By the way, when you walk over the maglev tracks, because this is actually the first time you've walked over an area, anything metal on you starts to float a little, okay? Like, if you have guns or whatever, it, like, literally starts, like, to float off your body, if you know what I mean. And, Angel just sort of pipes up and, like, murmurs to herself and says, the line is still active. Still power running through these maglev lines.
If I sit on my gun, does it still float?
No, you're too heavy.
Oh.
All of Angel's piercings are being activated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's take the other route then.
Just follow the tracks and you'll find where you're, other places to go. So there's some rubble on the tracks, but you can walk over it. It's only like about waist high. You can literally just like jump over it, hobble over it, whatever way you want to do. And for any of you that like walk on the tracks just north of the rubble you came over, the maglev line is a lot stronger. Like your guns like literally float off your body, if you know what I mean. Like your cognomen tags, which are like your dog tags, also like float off your chest and things like that.
We should have this all the time.
Yeah, make that mortar a lot lighter to carry.
If it comes to a retreat, then you can use it.
Fat, it looks like you found what appears to be like a station of some kind.
I'm no tech priest, but yeah, if it's stronger over here, that must mean we're in the right direction.
Boomer readies her last pistol.
Yep, so there is a passenger cart, like directly in front of you, and what appears to be like a maglev engine here as well.
So it'd be the best for looking this over and see if it's activatable.
You can get inside it and have a look if you want to do it.
I will try and do that.
Yep. So you and Angel jump into the control cart of the maglev train in front of you, and you can clearly see that even though almost everything is shut off, that this maglev line, well, this train has just simply been put into like a standby mode as best as you can get it. Because you guys are used to technology, so your best guess is it's just been put into a dormant mode.
Looks like it's just waiting here and it's ready to go if I press this big red go button. The machine spirit is currently quiet, but we'll be able to activate it if we need to leave.
Yeah, the runes on the display console would indicate it's in some sort of standby mode.
Does it look like I need a key to be able to unstandby it, or
You have no idea. You'd have to do a tech use test. You just
tech
know
use
like
test it is?
basic rudimentary things.
Yeah, I'll assist him.
Alright, so you just get to +10, isn't it?
Yep.
I don't directly have tech use.
You do.
Yes.
Where the hell? Oh, yes, I do. Totally, yeah.
We
Okay.
have +10 tech use.
Did you give me any help towards it, or?
Yeah, you get.
You have another +10.
Yep, so you jumble with the controls for a bit, and even though it looks like everything is ready to go, you give it a little test, you push the lever forward, the rune patterns turn to green, you hear like a bit of stutter in like the turbines as the engine begins to build up, and then you hear it sputter and die, and then another big blinking rune comes online, and you can tell that something is wrong, and it looks as if, you know, from what your best guess is, even though the maglev line is on and working and it's powered, there's been some damage ahead, and until it's fixed, it won't move. It's like a safety protocol, if you know what I mean.
Maybe it's best we clear that just in case we need to use this as our way to escape.
Mm-hmm.
We'll clear it once we deal with our most pressing matter for now, Locke. But this is a good find. Good job.
Thank you.
Is there not a search skill?
I think they just bunkered it in with awareness or something, because
Okay.
they had a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Well-
I think
I'm looking through this trash here for anything useful. Or, interesting.
shiny.
Shiny.
Looking through trash.
Yep.
Okay, give me a second.
Maybe I
You've
find a
successfully
fork.
found trash.
Maybe I found like a metal fork or something. You never know.
Kleptomaniac.
Yeah, it's literally just it's refuse from probably the last few ration meals that anyone on this planet had before the Imperial Navy started bombarding it. So it's literally just plastic cups and things left over from probably people that were using this tram system publicly.
Bottle cap?
Yeah, you can find a bottle cap if you want.
Yes.
Something from Dole as well. It's a Snapple cap. It has some like emperor be praised like knowledge on it.
You didn't win. Please try again.
So we call those escalators. Do they call them the same things in the US?
Yep.
I thought you were going to say the grimdark future. It's an escalatron.
No,
Yes.
in the
That was
grimdark
going
future, they're called ascenders.
Escalarium.
Not even joking. They're called ascenders, but yeah. So you guys head up the ascenders, and this looks like it was one point probably a station, but it looks like the upper floors of it have collapsed. God knows what building it was above you, but there you go.
Are the Chaos Ascenders like all spiky? Like,
Probably. You probably have to pay a toll of like cutting off your nose or something to go up them.
And they rape you on the way up.
Oh god.
The Slaneshi ones. By the way, fuck Slanesh.
You kissed us all, Harold.
Up.
You can go up those stairs if you want. It's still intact.
They
But if
look a
one
little
of them
shoddy.
gets and go through. They go through at the same time as me.
oh, nobody was home. Time for us to go. Hopefully this leads to the surface.
Yep, so you guys go up and you enter into the ruins of this building over here. Let me just find it. Where is it? There we go. Alright. Yep. Oh, maybe now.
Oh.
You You come out there.
Something
We
tells
best
me
collapse the sentry.
So it would appear that the rail line continues northward.
Yeah.
Roll an awareness for me. All of
With
you.
sound?
No. Sight.
I'll push it over.
Okay. So Sentinel and Fett both notice this. I'm just gonna use Sentinel for disregard, but he and Sentinel, while you guys are clearing this building, you cleared it beforehand, but you didn't pay like overt attention to it because most of it was collapsed. But now that you find it, you do find something interesting. Both Fett and Sentinel, you guys wander into a large like sub area that seems to have had like hundreds of like shelves, right? And the shelves now have empty like holding casing on them, and Sentinel like sort of turns to you and says, "What have we stumbled on here, Fett?" And he just sort of looks over and says, "Looks like whatever was in here was pretty big." And then he just sort of like looks around and like scrabbles along the floor for a bit and finds like a piece of metal, and then he sort of looks shocked for a minute and turns to you and says, "I've got to go talk to the commander right now, or the sergeant right now." And then you stay here and guard this, okay, Fett?
Alright.
So Sentinel comes back to you, Fit, and he just says, "Sergeant, I think you're going to want to take a look at this."
What is it, Sentinel?
Come with me. I've got Fet guarding it right now, but you're going to have to see this before we tell anyone else. Maybe we don't want to tell anyone else. And he just like brings you back to the room that he and Fet found while they were clearing through the building, and you go into a large, what appeared to be like a storage or a sub warehouse basement kind of thing, if you know what I mean. And there are these hundreds of like very large, heavy duty metal shelves, like all in a row, and they have like casings on them where they were holding something almost like cylindrical, and basically Sentinel like walks you over to a scrap of like discarded sheared metal on the ground, and he like dusts it off a bit, and it says warning, high yield explosives. And then he just sort of looks up at you and says, "Sarah, I think this was some sort of armory for shell casings. I think that the trader troops used the maglev system to transport them north. If they took them all, there were probably thousands of them here. They could sustain an artillery bombardment for weeks with that amount of ammunition."
We'll have to warn Captain Rancor of this fine as soon as possible.
He just sort of looks at you and says, "Yes, sir. I'm not any great strategist, but didn't you think it was odd that the infantry battalions of the trader regiments like abandoned the armor regiments and went straight north? I mean, Captain Rancor said there were some sort of bunker fortifications dotting, the foothills of the Ironback Mountains. There might be heavy artillery emplacements in there. If it's true, they could bombard the Thermian Tent and all the other regiments with impunity, and they wouldn't be able to do anything."
Which is why we need to warn them as soon as possible.
He just sort of nods and says, "So will I get Boomer and Crater to blow up the entrance to this, the maglev system?"
Yes, once we finish clearing the underground. We need to go back in, find that Xenos.
So he just nods slowly and says, "Yeah, we got to handle that." And then he just sort of looks back and says, "Though we haven't found any sign of it inside the maglev system, sir. I think it might still be back in the sewers. I think it might have just been luck that we managed to find this, to be honest. I don't think that the traders expected us to be able to find it so quickly."
And think the Emperor we did. Now we have a bit of an advantage over them.
So he just nods and says, "So we take the squad back into the maglev system then?"
Yes.
All right.
Back to the sewers we go.
Yep. So you'll need 2 crack grenades to like blow up the stairs and rubble if you want to do that.
Just have
Crack
to blow
grenades,
up these
people.
stairs?
Yep. You have to collapse like the tunnel up, if you know what I mean.
Okay, you can have the one from my companion then, Angel.
You want to give another one?
If I didn't know that like they each had like the same inventory that we'd have, because then Crater he has his own.
They don't
well.
have the same inventories.
They don't. Okay.
No.
No, you have yours.
Yeah.
That's it.
And they don't have any.
No.
Yeah.
That's what I originally thought, but then
Oh.
Warren said something, and I was like, "Oh, well."
No,
I thought it was the other way. And
whatever they have, you have, and
Mm-hmm.
vice versa. That's it.
okay, it's shared between us. It's not like
they're basically just an extension of you.
yeah, that's what I
And how the
thought.
game really works.
Oh, so we had one crack grenade between us.
Yeah, you can presume they have their own stuff, but like, you know, I'd basically just presume they're wearing armor and they have a gun and like they use grenades and stuff. So
Right.
who has enough crack grenades then?
I have 3 left now.
It'll take 2 to blow up the, you know, collapse it enough so that it will be unusable.
Alright, let's do it.
All right.
Let's hope we don't need any more to unblock the escape route of the maglev.
So another explosion. And you guys seal the way back up.
Yep. And now we get back to the sewers.
Bear in mind the train goes on somewhere else, and on Locke's best guess is that like the maglev system that powers the train is being disrupted somewhere along the lines ahead, and you might want to clear that if you want to get it to work.
That's what I was
That's
thinking
up
we
to
were going to
your-
do first.
No, we'll do that after we deal with the Xenos.
Okay,
Okay.
Boomer just stamps her foot, and she's like, "Who the hell cares about this Xenos creature that's living in the sewer? I think
He's
the
not
things we
even
found
down.
here are probably a lot more important."
Right, we should probably go. Boomer's right.
Well, it's the sergeant's decision, so whatever he wants to do.
Dissension, I say we kill him.
I mean, the amount of darkness down here, it's a really bad sign.
Put on your goggles, Fat. Put on your goggles. Boomer,
So what-
we have a breach in our perimeter. A Xenos came in, killed one of our own.
Who was down here, unawares, and now we're aware, and the only way for it to get anywhere is
This
through
thing caught
It probably
a mule.
left.
So Crater
Now
just
it knows it has a source of meals. We don't know what this thing is capable of, and I want it dead before it brings in more of its herd.
So Crater just pipes up and says, who cares about the Xenos, sir? All it killed was some useless scrub from the line infantry. Got what he deserved, to be honest. Praxis and his crew, or Praxis and his crew got what they deserved anyway.
We still have a duty to uphold. Guardsmen, now fall in line.
Boomer rolls her eyes.
I'm pretty sure it left.
I
And
like
we'll
the
make
idea.
sure that we're good, Fat. I don't want any more of my men dead for a fucking Xenos. Fatting Xenos.
So do you guys head back to the sewer then? Yeah. We can just
Yeah.
skip there to save time. Yeah.
We could potentially try and lure it to us by making lots of splashing sounds in the water like we're a dead seal.
So then, then a sentinel turns to you and like he's got his hands against his ear, indicating he's receiving an incoming Vox communication. And he turns to you and says, "It's Sergeant Ellis, sir. He's asking how our hunt is going."
Who?
Sergeant Ellis.
Oh, Alice. Okay.
Never heard
Yeah.
of him.
It's
Yes,
a lot of
yes.
names.
Yeah.
It's a lot of names, okay?
So Sentinel just turns to you and says, "Will I put him through, sir, or do you want me to just give him the brief?"
Give him the brief. We haven't found anything too exciting so far.
Do you want me to mention? Do you want me to mention the warehouse with the absentee shells we found? Maybe he should relay it to command and orbit,
Yes.
or at least to Captain Ranker.
Directly to Captain Ranker.
All right, so he just nods and starts talking off to Sergeant Ellis and giving him the rundown of what's happened and what you've discovered. So Vox just turns to you, Piker, and says, "If there is some damn Xenos down here, I don't want to be the first one caught. Let Fett and Easy go ahead. Fett's at least a bigger target, more meat in the bones."
Yeah. I just want to get this hunt over with. I want to go back to bed.
And Fox just sort of sighs and says, "I know the bloody fetting feeling."
What?
And Fox just sort of looks over and he says, "Oh, nothing, Fett. You're a big man. You go ahead, why don't you? Yeah."
Alright.
Better yet, why don't we strap a grenade to him just in case?
You
Suicide
stay
ogre.
away from me.
It's not a good idea.
It's like a safety jacket. You don't drown.
So Piker, make a awareness test for me.
Okay.
So you guys are judging your way through the stores, which I need to.
Hearing?
Yep.
No.
Okay.
Too tired to hear anything.
So you don't see the rippling and bubbling in the water beside you when a horrible maw of teeth comes lashing out.
Oh,
It's
fuck.
one of these things.
So make a dodge test. And then everybody roll initiative.
Modifier?
No modifier. Yeah, just try to dodge.
No.
Nope. So a huge maw of teeth just comes down on you, and let's see if it hits you. Caught you unaware, so it gets a bonus. Yep. So it gets you in the head as well.
Oh, fuck.
So
Shit.
just a jaw of razor sharp teeth descends around your head and just encompasses your head completely, and starts
Facehugger.
pulling you. Yeah, basically. And starts pulling you down and into the water, and Voxbox just screams and says, "Fetting hell!" and starts firing off his las carbine into the side of the thing like crazy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Is everybody rolled?
Yeah,
I
mine
need
doesn't
to-
show up in the list because I don't know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm doing anymore, I guess.
Got to
What did
click
you roll?
yourself.
I rolled a 7.
Oh. Alright, everybody's on it now, yeah. Okay. So Fett, you just saw this horrible blue thing, pull Piker into the water as he, unfortunately it seems he stumbled upon its den before you did.
Charge!
Little boy.
Oh wait, let me measure. See how far I can get. Can I do a full run through here?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
So I just try to slam into it.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to word. Okay, yeah, so you're charging in melee, yeah?
Yeah, let me just make sure that's my charge.
Yeah.
No, I can't charge. I have to run at it.
Yeah, so you just run out of it, "Roar, little one!" Jump into the water, yeah?
Yep.
Alright, so Locke, you see this horrible thing, and you see Fett, like, jump into the sewage water and running over the rubble and, like, just charging out and going,
I giggle.
That's an option.
That's a half action.
Piker might not be pretty anymore after getting his head eviscerated.
Oh, fuck.
I think.
I forgot to roll damage on you, actually. I should
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, how much did I? Am I dead?
You're dead.
It's 11
shit.
damage, pen 2 to the head. I presume you're still wearing your helmet, right?
Yeah.
That's a good point. None of you actually would have, like, really got the smell of the well, actually, I guess even through your respirators, you would have got the smell of sewage. You just press F to pay respect.
Yes.
Wow.
He was a good man. A lazy man.
He wasn't a good man. A lazy man.
Shot
Oh,
we've
shit.
ever had.
So how much damage did you take?
7.
Alright. So Locke, what do you do besides laugh?
I think I'm just going to try shooting this thing with my las gun.
Alright.
Run up and start medicating me in the legs or something.
Yeah. Just the legs.
Yeah.
That's where you need it the most.
His, like, body gets ripped off, and there you are, like, medicating his fucking legs. That's the only thing that's left of him.
Yeah.
I'm sure the morphine will help now.
I'm not giving him morphine. I'll do something else for him. What the hell do I need to do?
A lap dance.
So the thing is hulking, so it's like a plus 10 to shoot it.
I'm single shotting, so 20.
Mm-hmm.
24 milli.
Nice.
Oh well, then it's plus 1.2 then.
Yeah, that still hits. It doesn't try to dodge, so roll damage. Okay. So it, like, screeches almost in, like, a horrible, like, high-pitched squeal as you, like, shoot into it, almost like a pig, if you know what I mean. Yeah, kind of like that. And then it starts vigorously, like, shaking you in its mouth, Piker.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck.
So it's
That's
gonna
gonna
roll
snap
to hit
your
you
neck.
again.
Doesn't tearing damage to your eye holes.
You can try and dodge
That's
again if you
my
want to.
No one else is allowed to have Xeno's eye
fuck.
holes.
Fate points.
Alright, go for it. To heal or to dodge again? Oh, that's unfortunate. This continues to rip at your head.
7. No. You haven't rolled. Oh, okay, yeah.
And the rest of you aren't quite out of it yet, because just behind the guys to the south, you hear a splash, and this horrible thing comes jumping out of the water behind you guys, and immediately tries to bite at Locke's torso.
Brilliant. While this is happening, I'm going, best decision ever, Harriel.
It actually misses you though. It snaps at you, but it misses.
Oh, I see.
So Boomer, another horrible Xenos thing, has just flopped out of the water on its like horrible bipedal legs and is snapping with its massive jaw at Locke.
Holy shit. Okay, she was looking at the other one that was on Piker, but she just turns around at the splash and just fires a single shot with the las gun at that guy. I don't know, like, is there some kind of bonus for being this close, or no, not really?
If you're within 3 meters, it's point blank. Yeah, it would be point blank. So it's plus 30. But it's plus 10 because of its size, so plus 40. You might want to just semi-auto because there's more likely you'll kill it.
Okay, but is it not like in melee with Locke and maybe I
It
might
is in
hit
melee.
him?
Well, it's minus 20 from that, plus 20 overall, I think. And then
Okay.
Is semi-auto negative in this?
No,
I
it's
can't
0.
remember. It's 0, so it's just plus 20 overall.
Okay.
Don't turn me into mush, please.
I hope I don't miss. Ah!
Nice.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's
see?
3 damage rolls. It tries to dodge though because it's not grappling anyone.
Mm.
And it fails to dodge. It just takes a whole load of las carbine or Laz rifle into its side. Try and confirm the Righteous Fury.
Yep.
Alright, roll 1d5, and that's its critical effect. Hey, could someone go find me what the critical effect for a leg is from energy damage? Thanks. Alright, I'll calculate the rest of it.
Energy on where?
The leg.
What number?
3.
Energy leg. A solid blow to the leg sends currents of agony coursing through the target. The target suffers 1 level of fatigue and reduces his movement by half, rounding up, for 1d10 rounds. The target is knocked prone.
7, okay. Alright, that was a pretty good shot. So there's like huge gaping cauterized holes of like energy damage in the side of this creature's leg, and it's like limps to the floor and like, you know, thrashes wildly, squealing while it tries to snap at lock still. Alright, you guys to the north are likewise not as lucky, as another one flops out of the water here and then immediately makes a beeline to snap at you, Fit. And it hits, so you might want to dodge.
No.
Okay.
Could I parry?
Yeah, because it was trying to bite you.
Can I re-roll it as a parry then? Because I have
Yeah, sure. I should have made that clear, yeah.
Nope.
Nope. So bites you solidly for 12 on the left arm.
Two pen, right?
Yep.
Five damage.
And you scream.
Wow.
I'm never gonna get tired of it. Alright, so it's your turn now, Fit.
Okay, I have my chainsword out. I'll give an order for Sentinel to go into close quarters.
Alright. Yeah, so
Which
he
gives-
immediately like takes out his like dagger and like dives in.
Yeah, so it gives me the benefit of ganging up.
Starts stabbing the thing in the side of its mouth as it bites you.
Yep. So this thing is hulking, right?
Yep.
I'll take aim and swing.
Yep.
Not my knife, my chainsword.
Yeah, it doesn't try to dodge or anything because when it's biting something, it just fixates on it. Yeah, so you just rip down and into its torso, like straight through with the chainsword. That's a lot of damage. And it yet again like howls in pain. Piker, your turn. With your head
All right.
inside the thing's mouth.
Yeah, so we're like, he's like holding me down, I guess. I'm like,
Yeah, but you can still shoot and stuff. So
yeah, but I'm in melee, right? So only pistols.
yeah, you could draw your sidearm and fire it into
Yeah.
his torso.
Okay. So my head is in his mouth, and like I'm holding his like one of my arms into his mouth.
Yeah.
To,
I presume
hold
you
it open and not.
I presume you
Yeah,
want Foxbox to fire as well, so he'll give
Oh,
you a
yeah.
+10, yeah.
Let's
a
shoot
+5.
it.
It's +5, alright.
All right.
Believe.
So I shoot with my other hand into its like head.
Yeah.
Trying to. So what was it? +20?
Are you semi-autoing,
Voxbox.
or it's +10 for Vox, or +5 for Voxbox,
Okay.
you said, yeah.
Yeah, I'm semi-autoing, I guess.
Yeah, so it'd be +15 overall. Oh, that's amazing.
Really? What's up
Apparently.
with the rolls today?
Your luck is back again. Fat, your turn.
Alright, so I'm gonna take my Ripper gun and shove it up its rear end and hold down the trigger on full auto.
He's gonna shoot me in the head.
That doesn't sound nice at all.
It's as painful a thing as I can imagine right now.
So it's a plus 30 for point blank, but a minus 10 for full auto.
Plus 10
Yes.
for its size. And then
But
minus 20
minus
because it's in
10
melee.
for the talking there.
And plus 10 for scatter.
Did you say plus 20?
It's minus 20 because he's in melee. It's plus 10 for scatter. Plus 10 for its size. So I think it's plus 30 all overall with the negatives.
Let me do the math.
And if you add Forbin to it, it's plus 5 as well because I presume he's going to shoot at the thing as well.
Right.
Plus 35.
Yeah, plus 35. Yep, so it doesn't try to dodge. So how many times can you fire on full auto with us?
6 times.
6. Okay, so roll 5 damage rolls with plus 3 because of scatter and close melee. So
Plus I'll get an additional 2 more because of scatter.
That rule is not in effect.
yeah, it works different than this.
They corrected
Oh.
it in the
Like,
errata.
yeah, the errata does. So it just does plus 3 static damage. Yeah, so it dies somewhere around like the 3rd shot. So it's just like blown into pieces and like you get thrown out by the magnitude of the, like it's trashing death throw Spiker and you just land over here, right?
Right.
And your head has got some really deep gashes in it.
Are you okay, little buddy?
Thanks, big guy. I love you.
Your like helmet saved your life basically.
Yeah. Well, it's basically like off now, I guess. A bit.
You wanna know how I got these scars?
Alright. So Locke, this horrible fucking thing is flashing at your midriff trying to rip your torso in half.
I like the idea of how dead does it look? Because
Well, it's thrashing on the ground, but it's trying to snap at you. But like one decent shot, like would kill it.
okay, I think I'm going to try and finish it with a single shot from my las gun. So it's hulking.
Yeah.
Point.
Well, yeah, you're in melee with it though, so
Point
you have to
blank
take out
doesn't
your
apply.
yeah, point blank doesn't apply. You'll have to take out your last pistol, which is
Pistol.
a half action.
So
Yeah,
I
so
can't,
you
like,
can just
aim
do.
it.
Yeah, it's just going to be a plus 10 because you get minus 10 because it's on the ground. So yeah, it's just plus 10 overall.
Should we like Ember Parade?
Full blast.
Laser
You can
clamp.
make it plus 15. Yeah, it's fine because Angel would be shooting it as well. So yeah, roll damage.
Like
Oh,
one
dear.
health.
Hanging on there.
It actually killed it though. It did 1 damage, but that was all that was needed.
Yes! Does it scream in pain in a really awesome way?
It does that like, you know, the Gamorreans from Star Wars.
I
Yeah.
go, oh. Oh.
The pigmen from Jabba the Hutt's follow.
Yeah.
You know, when they get pushed into the Sarlacc pit and they're like, oh wait, yeah, that kind of thing. Can't do that. I'm gonna see if I can find that sound effect.
I shiver with pleasure.
Come on, there's gotta be Gamorrean. I found something. Yeah, actually, it's great. I have something that can work. Alright, enjoy the sound effect of. There you go.
Brilliant.
Glorious.
That one's dead. This one's dead. Delta, your turn. The last one, snapping off at Sergeant Fit in the corner there with a chain sword halfway plunged into its torso. It's screaming at him.
Boomer takes a moment to savor the sight. And, yeah, then it's just semi-autos it.
I like the way you took a moment to savor the sight of your sergeant getting bitten.
Mm-hmm.
You get a +10 for short range, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, for short range. I thought I got like a +10 for point blank last time, or...
No, it was +30, but it got counteracted by the fact it was in melee, so he's still in melee there, so...
So it should have
So
been
you're
a
doing-
+30?
You're doing a single shot, yeah?
No, semi-auto.
Oh, semi-auto, okay, so... 10 for its size, 10 for short range, -20 because it's in melee with fit, and then +5 for Crater firing with you. So I guess overall it's just a +5.
Okay. Whoops.
So you would have got just 0.5, yeah? So one hit. So roll 1 damage roll.
Oops.
Well, 1 damage. You guys are nothing if not consistent. So you like...
I'll save you, Sergeant!
You like sear its tail a bit.
Pew, pew, pew!
So it continues to snap at you.
Mm-hmm.
And it hits you again. Might want to parry or dodge.
I'll parry. Holy mother of shit.
Want to reroll it?
Yeah, fuck it.
Close.
The Emperor has forsaken me.
He just doesn't love you.
Bites you in the torso.
2 damage.
And your turn again.
Same deal as before. Aim and swing.
Yeah, it doesn't try to dodge. Alright, so you rip it to pieces and like hack through its body completely. Where did you hit it actually? In the body
It's
or
a
the
leg.
arm? Is it? Yeah. So you hack one of its legs like clean off, and it dies like in agony, screaming at you all the while.
I shove the chainsword in its neck so it stops that wailing.
Alright. So that seems to be the last of whatever these foul Xenos creatures were.
Is there a body in here?
No.
Cut open their stomachs and let's see if we can find any body parts.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
eat their flesh to gain their abilities.
We're
Not
not
Space
space
Marines.
marines.
So
I just want to eat.
You guys start like hacking over their stomachs and stuff, yeah?
Yeah, I
Okay.
need to confirm that these things killed the soldier.
Yeah, so when you cut open the gullet of this one here, just waves of human flesh and bones are piling out of it. And it looks like they were like, it seems that their maws are specially designed to act like almost like blenders, and they just like the whole thing is just pulp, if you know what I mean, with like
Mhm.
stray bits of like femur and stuff in it.
I'll cut the head off one, find the dude's tags among the pile of slurry.
His cognomen tags.
Yeah. And just take them. And I'll take one. Take the head and scrape its teeth against my armor. See what the effect is.
It like leaves like a scratch, a scrap mark along it, but that's about it. So Voxbox just comes up to you, Piker, and starts grabbing hold of you and says, "Sit still, for Christ's sake, Piker." And he starts like taking out a feel, starting to like try and wrap a bandage around your head, and he just starts screaming, "Lock, medic, get over here for Emperor's sake!"
Yes, yes. I'll tend to his head. What's
You've
left
got-
of it?
You've got a few nasty cuts down your carapace armor fit, but like Piker's head is like bloody
I-
and torn. Like,
Yeah, he's bleeding. I'm bleeding.
So, how much does my fellowship go down?
it doesn't unless it was critical, so you're lucky.
Yeah.
You're just less pretty than you were before.
You'll have some kick-ass scars, though.
Perhaps we should bring you upstairs to the Medicaid center that we prepared. It would
Yeah,
give
you
me
might
a
want to
better
bring him to
chance.
a cleaner place than a sewer.
1
Yeah.
minute though, and he walks over to the creature and starts like stabbing it a bit with his
Just
knife.
hacking it, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. And then Vox just comes up and like restrains you and says, "Come on, Piker, it's enough and a good time. If you get an infection, you'll be dead before the night. Let the doc see to you."
Okay.
And then Sentinel just put her pipes up and like talks to you, Sergeant, and says, "Well, that was a hell of a scrap. You look a little worse for wear, sir. Should I get Locke to have a look at you first before Piker? We can't lose our commanding officer."
Let Piker have a look. Let Piker be attended first. He took the worst of it.
Alright, so he just sort of nods solemnly and says, "Nevertheless, you should get back and see the Medicaid. I'm sure, I think it is Corporal, Sergeant Ellis, his corporal, should be able to have a look at you. He's a pretty good Medicaid himself."
Very well. At least we know that this breach has been dealt with.
He nods and says, "Yeah, despite the bloodied little hunt we've had, I think it's all for the better. We learned some valuable information about the enemy, and we found that maglev system that would probably come in handy if we need it."
Yes. I intend to have a crew clean up the rails as soon as possible.
He just nods and says, "It's a pretty sound plan."
Let's get back up.
Alright, so you guys make your way back up with your few bloody trophies, back up to the sub-basement of the Administratum building. And you guys are a little worse for wear. And Sergeant Ellis just comes up to you and says, "Fetting hell, what in the name of the God Emperor happened to you down there?"
What?
I point down at the head I'm carrying behind me. This. 3 of them.
He just sort of looks at the like fairly large head and like kicks it and says, "Ugh, see, I don't envy little hunt you went on, and not to mention what you found down there." And he sort of like looks at you and says, "We should probably convene a staff meeting to decide what we're going to do about that system down there, and inform the other sergeants." And he just sort of looks at the deep slashes in your torso and says, "That is after you get the Medicaid have a look at you." And he just sort of like shouts out and says, "Corporal, Sergeant here needs your skills." And he comes up to you and says, "Hold still, please, sir. I'm going to have a look over and see what I can do for you."
Yeah, I take off the armor.
I can assist.
Yeah, you can assist him. He can assist you. So basically, it'll be your Medicaid skill, but you can do 2 people at the same time, if you know what I mean. So you can heal both the sergeant and Piker at the same time,
Okay, nice.
and you can get a +10 from it as well.
Okay, I'm going to do 30 then. Use my medkit.
Get rid of the sewer, and you guys can hear the distant artillery again.
So, yeah, while Locke is working on my torso, I turn to Alice and say, "Have you informed the captain? Is it the captain?"
Yeah,
Yes,
Captain
the captain.
Ranker. He just nods and says, "Yeah, Ranker heard it, but I think we were a bit too late in that figuring that account off." And he just sort of says, "You're gonna want to see this," and he says, "Once you're able to walk properly, that is."
Did we let them know about all them missing shows?
Yeah, you did. That's what he's talking about.
Right.
So when you guys he just sort of leads you over to like a window and says, "You're gonna want to see this fit," and he just sort of leads you outside. And off in the distance, you see like a massive barrage of artillery fire, just layering like the center of the city, about like 10 kilometers north of where you are right now. and it's so loud, like you can hear it from here. It's like huge explosion, and it's so big, like the caliber of the artillery fire, that you can even hear the artillery like fire, if you know what I mean, in the distance. Like you can hear the boom of its explosion.
Yeah, I'm just watching while I wait my turn with Locke to heal me while he works on.
We're doing both of you at the same time, I think.
Yeah,
Oh.
you're healed at the same time. So you heal for 4,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Plus 1
+1, yeah.
degree of success.
So 5, everyone.
But like everyone, almost all the guardsmen are like on the upper floors of the administratum building, like just looking off into the distance, and there's just like a wave of like a firestorm of constantly exploding artillery shells and like a semicircle like cutting straight through the center of the city. And Alice just sort of looks at you and says, I doubt that was the only store of artillery shells they had. They probably had deposits like that all over the city. And then he just sort of looks at you and says, I think this was planned. They've completely cut off the regiments from any outside help whatsoever.
Maybe we're able to use this maglev thing against them. If we tell everyone that it's here, maybe we could move large amounts of troops through the tunnels.
That's an idea, Locke. That could be a very good possibility.
Then Alice just sort of turns to you and says, do you hear the crack of the artillery fire, Fit? And he just sort of looks at you and says, that's large caliber shells, even bigger than air-check cannons. Whatever they've got is permanent emplacements in those hills over there. They've got to be massive in size. We're talking like the shells have to be bigger than Lehman Russes.
Well, for now, the Emperor will watch over our men. But when the time comes, we'll put the vengeance on those artillery pieces.
He just sort of smiles and says, I don't know how long they've got. And he just says, here, look at the horizon. And he sort of passes you a, goggles, magnoculars or whatever, so you can look. Yeah. And in the distance, you can see that the wave, sort of like the wave of the firestorm of the artillery, is slowly moving and advancing towards the hills. And he just sort of looks at you and says, every few minutes they knock it down by a degree or so, and the artillery fire advances further on. They're trying to trap our men between an anvil and a hammer. They have two choices. They can either advance on the enemy infantry and get shot up by heavy emplacements, or they can wait to get destroyed by the artillery. It looks like the hegemony has decided they'll destroy the city before they give it back to the Imperium.
Alice, get your men to clear that maglev.
He just sort of nods and says, yeah, I think we'll need to get out of here as soon as possible. And then he looks back and says, we have some other bad news, I'm afraid. Fit, and he just sort of turns to you and brings you and Sentinel over to a corner and says, while you were gone, I had some of my men in the forward observation post. And then he sort of grimaces and says, there's an entire column of mechanized infantry moving up through the city, straight towards us. I think they were waiting for the artillery fire. I think they're going to try and flank our men and clear up anybody that survives that bombardment. I don't think they know we're here.
Good. We'll give them a surprise.
He just nods and says, this whole damn thing was a trap. You realize that, Fit? They drew us in. They knew what we were going to do. Emperor damn them.
Yes, and damn the brass for being so fetting full of themselves.
So he just sort of, nods solemnly and says, I've got to go clear those tracks if we're going to get out of here at any time. I suggest you and you get some rest. It's going to be a few hours before that column of mechanized infantry shows up. But when they do, we're going to be in for the fight of our lives.